Hi, this is Anne-Marie Miller. Thanks for watching. And you are watching a video by a holistic health practitioner, myself. And today's letter that I'm focusing on is B. And I'd like to thank a lady who was a part of my life for 46 years in the sense that she was part of my yoga background, B. Thompson. And she was around when I was 10 and through to when I even had my own child, and I went and stayed with yoga retreats and I would share rooms with her. So thank you, B, for all your influence. So coming to the body being the major part of, or a major part of the aspects of holistic health in the model, body, mind and emotion. So the body is the foundation, and body care is extremely important, because if we don't have our physicality in tip-top shape, then our mental and our emotional stability and mindful clarity is not going to be as sharp. So the important aspects of the body are extremely vital, particularly cellular, and then going into tissue, organ systems, and then the body, because the cells are like the bricks and mortar of our homes, so per se. So the cells are like the bricks, and then you have the walls. Many bricks make walls. Many cells specializing in an area make an organ or tissue, and then a group of walls will make a room, which is similar to a group of tissues specializing in an area will make an organ, and then organs that specialize in an area or rooms multiple together will make a house, as will organs will make a system. And then you have so many systems in the body of which they all work together. So when we're looking at our body health, we can go to specialists in the allopathic realm or paradigm. Allopathic, which I mentioned in A. So allopathic is associated with the conventional medicine of the West, because ultimately when we go around the world, or if we're fortunate enough, there are many countries that still practice indigenous medicine. India, for example, still practices Ayurvedic medicine, and there's over 1 billion people there, and there's roughly around a third that still practice Ayurvedic because it works, as well as other medicines, including allopathic or GPs and surgeons. So if you look in the back, I have my light, which has the aromatherapy burning for the eucalyptus, which helps with physicality as well. Helps with cellular activity because it's an antiviral. And so in these days, that's something that we can really value. A lot of cleaning products are mentioned on the TV that are antiviral, as is eucalyptus, and that's in the science books. So the body, as I said, cells are extremely important to have as a healthy function, because when they're healthy, then their tissues, organs and systems are going to be healthy. There can be states or circumstances where there'll be a slight dis-ease. Notice that's the term disease completely together. However, when cellular activity, which is poor or dysfunctional, is minor, then it's more of a dis-ease, and that area will be healed and rejuvenated and replenished by natural cellular activity. Because the cells, being the smallest complete unit, does do its own functioning and activities just as we do as a whole body. So it's like the microcosmic of the cell being the building up to a macrocosmic perspective of the whole body. So the cells do their own activities. They digest, they eliminate, they transport, they move, they reproduce. They do many different functions like we do as a whole being. So again, it's really important to have that cellular activity functioning well. And we do that through our general activities of diet and exercise and relaxation, something that's not as still as emphasized as it could be or probably should be in the West, because Western society tends to be overactive in its activities and underactive in its relaxation, unless it's, dare I say it, and it's not everybody, so I'm not picking out anyone here, and it's certainly not a good or bad, because I don't do good or bad. It just is. It's the way you do it. People that drink alcohol to wind down, ultimately you will, in the end, need more, because your body relies on, has a function which is to do with tolerance. And when the body winds down, and it will end up needing more to wind down if it's still not being addressed on a whole function, meaning that, like, cells will do activities, and then they produce waste products and metabolites, and they are removed. Same with our body. If we're doing physical activities and many mindful activities, like being on the computer all day, things like that, when we go to unwind, if we're relying on something like alcohol is going to do to a point a certain amount of relaxation, and then it becomes a bit more of a burden, because it's overworking organs, particular organs like the liver, which will eventually affect the cardiovascular, which will eventually affect the organs of the cardiovascular and the heart. And of course the heart is one that, looks after everything, because it supplies the nutrients within the blood and helps to eliminate again. So it's going round and around and all over the place. So this is where the holistic aspect comes in, with the systems being relevant to the whole body. So it's one thing to go to a specialist in a specialist area. However, as I've been informed over the years, even in cardiovascular area of allopathic medicine, there's something like 4 different, maybe even more now, that different physicians that specialize in areas of the heart. So if we come back to thinking on a perspective of just cellular and basics to start with, if you feel like you need to wind down, just be aware that the winding down, after a while, if it's used with a product that's endogenous or something from the outside, exogenesis rather, from the outside, rather than inside and doing your own relaxation, just going for a walk or doing a technique, whether it's breath or visualization, etc. If you're doing those, it's more empowering than relying on an external product, because at the end of the day, things like alcohol and cigarettes, they're carcinogenic. It's science. They're carcinogenic. They're going to cause cancer, or potentially cause cancer down the track. Cells, tissues, organs, systems, the whole body works all together. There's no separation. There's no definitive point where one separates the other. So it's important to get the foundation really, really, really strong. In the foods that we eat, less processed, grow your own. Heaven forbid there's anywhere on the planet where authorities outside your own home are telling you that you can't grow food. There's always inside, there's always creating a greenhouse. It's so important to get the nutrients that you can, that are healthy, that haven't been sprayed too often. And if you do buy stuff like that, then there's another reason to look after the liver. So simple things to wind down can even be herbal teas, preferably not down the track where you're using stuff like smoking or drinking that is going to bring on a carcinogenic effect within cellular activity. So body is be aware. It's very important, particularly in this day and age where we are being emphasized to step out of our own responsibilities and be responsible for others. Because at the end of the day, we are born and we die, and that's the truth. So as we get older, and in the textbooks, particularly when I studied at uni with the biology of aging, we're informed that 120 years is a viable age for a human being to live if they look after themselves well. 120. So middle age is not really whatever they say now. I've heard sometimes 35, 40. So it's around 60 if you're looking after yourself, and you know whether you are or not. So yeah, and people I say this to, they say, I don't want to live till 120. Fine. If you don't want to live till 120, that's your choice. However, there are many of us that would like to. So if we can look after ourselves productively, starting at the groundwork with our cells, with our tissues, organs, systems and body, and our body, which holds and embraces the mind that we think and have no thoughts from, as well as our emotional state. It all resides within our physicality. Once our physicality is in the ground, there is none of that left, unless you tend to believe that there is. However, it's still not relevant to who you are right now, because right now you're physically watching this video. So it's important to look after your physicality. B, behavior. Behavior, which interestingly enough, now I'm on to the biological psychology and development of the aspects of psychology, which until I picked up this degree of psychology, I didn't realize psychology extended to behavior. So it's really interesting, and I will be more than sharing the information that I learn. So biology is extremely important in all these aspects, to be whole and to feel whole and to be aware of your external and environmental circumstances that are becoming more and more of a aspect that is taking away our responsibilities of who we are as a human being, which is to look after ourselves first. As I say in the first video, if you don't look after yourself, then you don't have the world that you live in, because you're not the optimum that you could be, and therefore you'll be attracting and bringing in aspects that are not to your optimum circumstance. So you're looking after yourself. Not selfish. If you've got children, it's a different aspect. However, you still need to look after yourself with children. I've had 4. I've raised 5 teenagers. So it's very important. The other aspect that I'll say with the letter B for me is poignant, which is I've broken my back falling off a 23-metre cliff, 70-foot cliff, straight onto rocks. So I'm very familiar about looking after the physicality of myself. And I did this when I was seeing if someone had fallen already, and I unfortunately grabbed onto a bush that wasn't rooted into the ground as properly as it should be, so I fell. So I know all about backs and broken bones, and the brain, because I smashed my head and I split my head open, a closed fracture, and I know all about brain care. And up until now, or recent times, I didn't realize my lack of sometimes sensing humor was due to an area that I would have had contusions or bruisings with from the fall. And because I'm aware of it, I'm now aware of the humor, and I have more patience. And hopefully people around me, some have left, but that's okay. They have more patience, that I don't always grab the humor straight away. Definitely do with comedians, because I intellectually know that they're meant to be funny. So thank you so much. Be aware that you are amazing, and your body can get through so much and heal so fast if you are doing the optimum. So go to your professional healthcare, seek advice if you need it. More than welcome if you ask me questions. If I can help, I'll help. If I don't know the answer, I'll definitely research for you. However, have a beautiful day. Namaste and love always. Thank you.